Hi guys, TinaGale here, and I am back with another process video for a layout that I did quite a while back. It's probably at least a month since I did this, so I'm hoping I remember all of my thinking as I do this. I'm pretty sure I do, and I have to tell you it was a layout that I loved, that's simple, but it took me forever because I moved the embellishments around in the 3 spots over and over and over again until I could find just the right balance for the colors and the sizes and all of that. So let's get started. I am using 2 different collections that came in my October Flavors of the Month kit. So it's My Mind's Eye, Gal Meets Glam, and Vicki Boutin's Field Notes, and they went really well together. So that big polka dot in the back is from My Mind's Eye, and I believe all the rest is from Field Notes. So I cut that down just a little bit, about ½ inch on 2 different sides, matted it on some black cardstock. And then I knew I wanted that beautiful floral to really be the showcase. So I cut it. It's probably about 3½, 4 inches wide. And I'm trying to decide whether I want it to go inside of the black cardstock or if I want it going all the way across. And I end up deciding that I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make it just fit the polka dot paper and not the black cardstock. And you may wonder why I didn't cut it off. And this is a little trick that I like to do when I'm going to have it be the same as the background paper. I go ahead and I leave the little strips 12 inches and I put them on here and then I flip it over and trim that off. Because no matter what you do, you're never going to cut those to the right length. So that's just one little trick that you can try if you like to have those pieces inside of the matting. Just leave it the 12 inches, adhere it all down, and then trim it off. So I cut a thin green and a thin blue, and I went back and forth on that one because I started with the green at the bottom and the blue at the top, thinking like grass and sky. But I felt like it was a little bit too jarring. That blue, you can see, pops off that background a lot more than the green. And so I decided I wanted it towards the bottom. And I'm going to put some more colors down there at the end too, underneath the photo. So it'll kind of break it up and the blue won't seem to be as stark as it is. So I went ahead and went through all of the embellishments that I had. And the little die cut pieces are from Field Notes. And then these journal cards, this gold one that I'm playing with here and that black and white one you see off to the right, that's part of the Gal Meets Glam collection. And I wanted to just really bling this page up. And so I'm playing with this gold one, trying to see if I could somehow build it behind my cluster. And I know there's a big gap and hole in the center because of the heart, but you know, I was going to just pull it down and arrange it where you don't see the hole. So I play with that for quite a while and I end up, I can't figure anything out. I go on to something else and then I come back and forth. So you'll see me playing with that gold card quite a bit, but that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to see whether I could somehow build it into the cluster so that I have a little bit of gold down there. And a little hint, it doesn't end up down there anywhere. But like I said, you're going to see me try over and over again. Now the inside heart that punched out, I knew I wanted to include it on the layout. And so it's up here on the right of the photo, and I am going to put a cluster there. And you saw me kind of playing with that bottom cluster on the right or the left. I really struggled in the beginning where to put my 3 clusters. And this right here was part of it. The flowers were just bigger, and your eye was really drawn to them, and so it wasn't like sinking down into the background. And I wanted the colors, the pink colors, spread out a little bit more to do the triangle. So you can see, well, before the photo moved up, you can see I've got the pink flower down below and to the right, and then there was some to the left of the photo. So when I did that, I knew that's kind of where I wanted my triangles, and I want to start with those pinks. Now that big pink flower is going to end up moving because it is really just a little bit too big for down there. But again, you see that gold 3x4 card down there, and that's what I'm trying to do, is to fill it up. But it's just too big. It's competing against the photo. As big as that little cluster is down there, it's almost as large as my photo. So it's just too much, but you know, I live with it. When I move these clusters around, I live with it for a little while. I move on to another area until I can kind of figure out what's wrong or where I can move it. So really, I think all of the pieces that I play with, they end up on the layout in the end, but just in different spots. So I hope by leaving this in, it kind of gives you a little bit of an idea that even though when you're watching process videos and it seems like everything just goes down and wham bam, thank you ma'am, and the layout's done and all the clusters are in the right place. Well, normally most everybody has cut out all of this moving and trying to decide where it's going to go, and you're not seeing it. Now, some people are just that good and they know where it's going to go, and they might put it down and that's where it stays. Sometimes it works out like that, but I don't think I ever do a layout that everything stays where I put it originally. But this one is to the other extreme where I normally do not move them as much as I did on this one. But I really struggled with getting the sizes of the clusters and the colors and everything with the pieces that I was working with. So here I'm just showing you that I went ahead and took it to my sewing machine and I did a zigzag stitch. I did a zigzag stitch across the border pieces, or this band, and then just a straight stitch all the way around the outside. I really wanted some of that texture and all of that. And this is a photo of my husband and I, and we had just taken off one day. My daughter was with us. We went over to the state next to us and went to a little vintage market days and just shopping and just kind of hanging out. It was a cold day. It ended up snowing. It was crazy. It was like 60 in the morning, or maybe the day before, and then that day it just plummeted, and we ended up getting snowed on while we were there at the vintage markets. So it's just a picture of us. I got the sign in the background and just wanted to document it. So just as we've gotten older, we get to go and be a little bit more I don't know, impromptu, where we don't know what we're going to do. We just take off and we go, and we just do fun stuff. Okay, so now I'm back to the embellishing. You can see that little chipboard pink scalloped piece. That was what I was talking about. I knew I kind of wanted that in there, and I was pretty certain it was going to go under the photo. So that is one thing that I knew ahead of time. That's where I wanted it, that's where it went, and that's where it stayed. At least I think so. And you saw a little bit ago, I had the banner, that little triangle banner chipboard piece that was in the black polka dot, and I put it up across the top. That's going to go up there too. It's just chipboard falls off and it needs to be wet glued, and so I don't mess with leaving it up there because I would have been fighting it and sticking it back on there, but it is going to go across the top there. On the cut apart sheet, I knew I needed some place for my journaling, and they had this one that's a little notepad that says my favorite. So I knew I wanted to get that in there. I really wanted it more to the bottom, in the bottom cluster, but it just didn't really work out. So I'm going to put it up at the top, so my journaling is going to go at the top right underneath that where it says my favorite, and then I will just write a few things. And then we had just these little tab stickers, and it says things to do. So all the little things that I picked out were just fun little words and phrases that I thought really fit with what my journaling is going to be. The things to do. At the bottom, that little chipboard piece says get out and explore, which is what we were doing. And again, these pieces move. This little notebook here that says journey, you know, originally I thought it was going to go up above because I wanted my journaling at the bottom. So I tried for a while to get it up there, and then I finally just came to terms. Nope, it's not going to go. It's going to have to go down below. But it had that butterfly on it, and I didn't want the butterfly necessarily showing. I mean, I didn't care about the butterfly, but I couldn't get the other embellishment clusters around it and leave that butterfly showing. So it was either all or nothing. And so I decided to try to cover it up as much as I can. And you're going to see that big pink flower that was down below that I said all of that was just too big for the bottom cluster. I've now moved it up to the top, and that's so much better. So that big area with my journaling, that big large flower, all of that can be my really large embellishment cluster. And I needed that pink up there. So it covered up the other pink flower, but it was a lot smaller. So it needed the bigger flower up there. And the little girl, you saw I had the die cut, and then she's also a sticker that's a little bit smaller. And I did go ahead and I think I used the larger one in the end and just stacked her on top of that gold foil heart, which I know right now it kind of looks black, but it's gold foil. It's gorgeous. So I'm getting pretty happy with this. I love the little touch of pink heart up there and the gold heart. Just trying to bring it all back around. So this bottom cluster, I'm getting happier with it. I went ahead and got the little note that says journey, and it gives the definition of it. And then the little blue banner says, why not today? And that was perfect because we just got up and said, you want to do something? Sure. Let's just go, you know, to Arkansas. And we just got up and drove and went. And then I had one more of the little pink flowers, so that's going to go down there. And now you can see I have 3 pink flower triangles, and the rest is just going to be little bitty things that I add. I do go back because the little notepad at the bottom, that little ephemera piece or the die cut, it really gets lost against that background. So there is a tag that's a black and white stripe tag, and it had a gold foil word on it. Didn't really need that. I just wanted the black and white striped to go underneath it to contrast, to pull that little journey card up. And then since I had all the big polka dots, I just felt like the stripes was a perfect little complement to the polka dots. So you'll see that here in a little bit. I'm trying to get enamel dots on, and I probably moved those around too quite a bit, but I knew I wanted a little sprinkling of pink all the way around, so I'm just playing with those. And then there were the little puffy stickers, and so there's one coming up. I have that little circle on the Get Out and Explore. Oh, look at that. I did try to stick it down below. What was I thinking? Anyways, here I'm trying to cover up that little butterfly. So I had this blue puffy heart, and then I had the little circle that's kind of a peachy with red polka dots on there. And so I'm trying to figure out which one's best. And I love the blue, and I needed blue because there's blue flowers up in my other clusters that's on the background paper. So I wanted to bring that darker blue down there as well. So I end up, the heart fits better there, and I move the circle up to help cover up the butterfly. Yeah, I know you still see a little bit of it, but that's okay. So I'm just going to put foam dots up underneath the tag and that top journey spot so that it just lifts up off the page. This is a little sticker that says hello, and it's black with just some gold. So I wanted to find a place in it, or on the layout for that. And I ended up bringing it down here to this tag, and it was perfect. It was the perfect little touch to bring all that tag and that journey card together. And then that gold journaling card that I was trying to play with, I ended up cutting part of it off when I was playing, and I ended up sticking it up in that top cluster. So now I have touches of gold in all 3 of my cluster embellishments. And this layout is done. I'm going to put some string through the tag, and that's it. So even though I moved things around, I knew the pieces I wanted. I just had to get that right configuration between all 3 of them. So I hope you enjoyed this. Here's some close-ups, and I really love it. Hope you'll come back again soon, and I'll have another process video for you. If you're not already subscribed, click that subscribe button and the notification bell, and you'll be notified when I get new videos up, and check out some of my other videos if you haven't. So have a great day and a holiday season, and I will see you soon.